at times to do exactly what you just said, and a lot of people don't want to put the effort into.
But it's effort to be a criminal, because you still got to, because it's all that keeping everything on the down low so that nobody finds out what you're doing, because obviously what you're doing is criminal. You don't want the police and whoever to get wind of it. Mm-hmm. So why not turn that effort in the criminal sense into a positive legal effort?
Again, you're being logical. You need to come back to the unlogical world we live in. You're being logical again.
Well, speaking of, now, this next person reminds me of that ex that I was telling you about earlier. It's very hilarious. And yes, we do get our share of gangsters over here in the UK, just in case people are wondering. Now, I have to say this, whether we believe the stories that these type of people tell about their life or not, right? I have to say, because we've been talking about it, haven't we? The Tony Sopranos of the world. People are still drawn to them for whatever the reason. That, again, is another question I want to ask people. What do they think? What is the reason? Why are we drawn to them? Is it because of the mystique and the intrigue that they seem to be able to create about themselves, which makes them more interesting? What do you think?
It really is, what do we consider to be interesting as people? And I think the subject of the mob and the subject of gangsters and illegal activity, and I think they look at, some of it ends up being just like a soap opera. You look at how insane the people are on the soap opera.
Oh my God.
And you look at it like, she is just really stupid. Well, then why do you continue to watch the soap opera?
Yeah, it draws you in. You just almost like, you just can't. It's like you said, the car crash that you just can't turn your head away from. You have to look. You have to know, okay, did he really go and do that? Did he really say that? Did he really do this? Did she really do that? It's even though you know it's crazy and you think, okay, in real life, if that was happening, I think I would want to run at 100 miles an hour in the opposite direction, run for the hills. Like Roadrunner, as I keep telling you, I'm Roadrunner on steroids. I just don't want to mess with that. And that's why he had to be consigned to the past, the said boyfriend, because he was just on some things that I just thought, you know what, I am not going to mess with you. You just want to go down that road, and I am not following you, because this ain't no Pied Piper business. Bye-bye.
So this wasn't a Bonnie and Clyde situation.
Oh, he wanted it to be.
No, but I'm saying from your standpoint, though, you were not a ride or die.
No. No. I am a girl. I am a road runner on steroids. I'm going in the opposite direction. Meep, meep. You ain't catching me. Bye-bye. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to know what you're doing. I don't want to hear about your problems because you bring them on yourself. You're on repeat. I don't play that. Bye, bye, bye.
Well, but it's a road runner, basically, and away from trouble.
Yeah! You don't see how Roadrunner's always on it, just gone. That's me. I don't want to play with him. And I have to mention, apparently, people, just in case anyone, especially over here in the UK, you're going to know because it's premiered this week. There's a new film about the UK gangsters Reggie and Ronnie Kray. It's called Legend. Apparently, it's going to be out next week. It had its premiere, I think it was yesterday. So, Tom Hardy, one of our UK actors, is playing the part of both brothers. They are twins, just in case, again, nobody knows who the Krays are. Yes, they were our version of crazy criminals. In the 60s and I think it was the 60s and 70s, yes, they were the people who were just doing all sorts of craziness in London's East End. They were crazy, and they were known for their ruthless and crazy mental disturbed behavior. That's the best way to put it. They were crazy. Okay, but this next guy that I wanted to mention, again, he is a self-proclaimed former UK gangster and in recent years has become an author and an actor. Okay, Mr. Dave Courtney, South London gangster. Apparently he's a celebrity gangster. That's what they're known as now, you see. This is what I mean. It's all that glitterati, glamorous lifestyle that they're supposed to be able to command just because of who they are or who they think they are, shall we say.
Right.
Link 14, K-Rose, link 14. Yes, Wikipedia, this is all the information I found on Dave Courtney, and I just thought, oh my God. Because I've heard of this guy, because obviously he comes from the South London, and I come from South London too, so it's like, you can't not hear about people like him, and he's had a very colourful life, shall we say.
Okay.
Yes. I sent you some pictures, didn't I, K-Rose? In fact, let me see. Oh my God. There are things that you will probably be thinking, okay, why has she sent me all these crazy pictures? Because there's just not enough hours in the day for me to look at all these people. I don't know if I said to you. I'm going to send it to you again. Just in case.
No, I'm going through now, and we're putting links in, and something that's interesting. One of the pictures you sent me, Mr. Courtney has on a nice pink-colored suit.
Yes.
And
very interesting. And that was his wife, but I don't think he's married to her anymore, actually.
Okay, now you're throwing me completely for a loop.
Uh-oh, what?
Okay. I'm really, his wife is what color?
Oh, yes. I don't think they're together anymore, because, he's had a lot of drama in his life. But, yeah, they were together at one point. They had a child together and everything.
Okay, not to put my life in jeopardy.
Yeah.
But the person in the pink suit is Courtney, right?
That's right, yeah. And the lady next to him, that was his wife.
A lady.
Yes, that's the lady.
I'm putting my life in jeopardy by saying that.
Yeah,
because
that's the lady.
I looked at that person and couldn't figure out, because that hairdo is crazy.
Yeah, that's her. That was her.
Everyone, I sent that link out, and that hairdo is wild.
That's her.
Man,
I don't think they're together. I must stress it. I don't think they're together any longer. They may have got back together since, but I know at one point they had some serious issues, and there's a lot more links in here that we could share about some of his colourful antics, K-Rose. And let's see, that's going to be links 15 through to 17.
Yep, I'm going through dropping those into the mix now, but everyone...
The sad part about it, though, was her son, his stepson, got shot.
But that's part of that life we're talking about, and we've spent a little time on talking about that piece of the life when it comes to illegal activities. Yeah. But it's just like from a terrorist standpoint. Terrorists put their families in jeopardy because the drone doesn't know your son is in the car with you.
That's right, the drone don't care.
And so you are putting your family in jeopardy. The drone doesn't know who's in the house with you at times, and sometimes they try to be careful, and then they won't. But if it's a opportunity to take that person off this earth, there are times when you are putting your family in jeopardy by them just being around you.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that happens with these people who are gangsters. I mean, when they came into the Scarface house, they weren't necessarily checking to make sure everybody was cool. At the end of, and that was crazy. Exactly. They just came in, shooting, and that was of course a movie, but. Yeah. It's the same type thing that happens here in America, even from law enforcement. If they come in to arrest someone, they're really not taking a lot of precautions other than to come to get who they are coming to get, and they may accidentally kill someone.
Yeah, as he was saying, say hello to my little friend. Bang, 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 bang. I mean, hello. He ain't minding who's behind the door. Just say hello to the friend, i.e. the shotgun. He's not
And that's somebody else. And we're talking addiction. That whole movie, and again, it was a movie, but there are people that are addicted, and they are on some bad narcotics. And it causes them to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, cocktails of narcotics. Have you heard about that new drug? I think is it called Flocka or Flacca?
Yeah, Flocka. That's a show by itself. But I know what Flocka is.
When I heard about some of the things that people are doing when they're on that, and people thought that crack cocaine or things like that was crazy. If you see what these people, and was it the other one, meth, those types of things. Those kind of drugs, there's a whole new breed of crazy drugs out there. Please, people, again, we are saying stay away from drugs. Stay away from the lifestyle that you think is so cool in trying to, you may think is so cool, I should say, in trying to be a drug dealer. No, and more no. Just stay away.
It's scary. I mean, like I said, when we come back from break, I'll talk about a couple of things that's out there in the news related to what you were talking about. But, man, it's just do things for the right reason. People.
Oh, wow. I mean, obviously, yes, we all, again, I'm going to say it again. Yes, we aspire, because there's nothing wrong to having ambitions, to wanting to, have a nice lifestyle. But please think about the road, the path that you are going to take to go there, to get there. It's not worth having the feds and the police and all them type of people. It ain't worth it. It's just not worth it. I have seen people, as I have said already, who are addicted to the crime. It's not even, and I must mention that he was addicted to the committing of the crime, and the proceeds of the crime were just, the effect of what he did. That was like the prize, if you like, sort of thing. So I must say, we're about to take a short break, people. The song that you're going to hear, Ja Rule featuring Charlie Baltimore, Down a Chick. So let's go to break, enjoy the track, because I do love this track, and we will be back after this. Good afternoon and welcome back, people. You are listening to the Ask Avani Show, people. I hope you are enjoying today's show. Just in case you've just joined us, I'm just going to reset the show for you again so you know what we've been talking about, because this show I've been wanting to do for a while. The topic is addicted to the life. Aspiration or stupidity? Is it worth the stress and sacrifice? That is today's question. We've been having a nice, interesting talk about it, haven't we, K-Rose?
It's been interesting.
Now, you just heard Usher, and you also heard before that Charlie Baltimore and Ja Rule, Down a Chick. Now, these are some of the tracks I chose for today's show because I thought they were interesting. They really speak into today's show topic because, yes, I think that Ja Rule and Charlie Baltimore are a type of Bonnie and Clyde, if you like, of the music industry, of course. Legal. But I love their video for that track, and I love the way that even when they're in trouble, they still try to sort of stick together. So that part of it was nice. But obviously they know they shouldn't have been doing what they did in stealing those diamonds. But everyone knows the story of, or infamous story of, Bonnie and Clyde, right? And remember we were talking earlier about how it seems that the media and such can sometimes glamorize the hustler stroke gangster culture. And when they say hustler, they mean it in a bad way. But I don't think it's bad to be a hustler if you are working towards your dreams, as it were. So that's a good thing in that sense. I think it's a good thing too, because you're working hard and you're trying to, you've got to put muscle in your hustle. You're trying to get to where you're going, kind of thing. And this, obviously, the story of Bonnie and Clyde was made into a film. I'm sure it's been made into lots of other films over the years as well, but I think the first time it was made into a proper film was in 1967. And they had the stars of the day, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, didn't they, in the starring roles? So it just goes to show you that even the movie world wanted to get in on putting that story on the big screen.
Well, it's interesting again. We're talking about why did we look at the accident. I'm not a big accident gawker or looker. I'm too interested in getting where I want to go. So I don't, I'm not trying to see what the wreck looks like. But it's kind of historical things. I look at a lot of war movies and I look at history. And I like history. I like to look at the history of the countries and to see what happened. But movies like that to me are kind of like, history. You're looking at two just completely wild people.
They were wild.
Wild, okay?
Oh, yeah, they were definitely wild. I mean, wow. We've already shared their story today, haven't we, K-Rose? So, yes. Links 18, 19. Yes, very interesting. Well, again, it's the story is long. You just think, oh my God, they were doing all these things and moving from town to town and recruiting, different people into their little gang. And the reason why they stood out as well, because at that time, isn't it, in the 20s and the 30s, the way some of them and their accomplices were dressing, and obviously she had, she was using a gun, Bonnie was using a gun and stuff. So these are the things that they didn't really associate with feminine behavior or just normal social behaviors. And they were doing a lot of things that were antisocial and, riding around and being loud and drinking and all that type of thing. So it just made people feel, oh, what are they doing, And then they realize, okay, they're committing all these crimes and robbing banks and God knows what else they were doing. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, that these type of people, they shouldn't really be glamorized in the sense of it's a good thing to do this, but people, as you said, the car wreck, you can't help looking, can you? You can't help wanting to go back into history and hear about their stories, because you just think, wow, if there was someone who was daring enough to do that type of thing back then, how it would be today, it's going to be all over the news again, even more so, and with social media and so on and so forth, it's just going to get blown up into stratospheric proportions, isn't it?
Do you think